All right, so if you have shoulder pain and you've ever been told you had a rotator cuff issue, one of the things that I like to do is I like to train rotator cuff specifically with a pulley or a cable resistance versus band resistance, and I'm gonna tell you why. So we have the Anchor here, and the nice thing about the Anchor is it just hooks onto a rack. You could use a regular cable for this, but I find that with the different levels of adjustment for the Anchor, there's actually a really nice use for this. And so we use cables or pulleys for rotator cuff, and the reason is you get an equal resistance through the entire motion. So the resistance is the same here as it is here, and that's really important for rotator cuff training, especially in the early phases. Now it'd be nice if we have a cam pulley where maybe it got heavier in the middle and then it got lighter and then it got heavier and then lighter, which there are devices like the Voltra that could do that. But for this specific application, this is really nice because you get a really nice, even strength profile. A lot of people, they default to doing bands. And the thing about bands is it gets really tight at the end. So right here, I almost have no resistance, and at here I have maximum resistance. The rotator cuff is not as strong out to the end range as it is through the beginning and the middle. So it's like reverse training where if you do a weight that you can get all the way through a full range of motion, then it's likely not enough resistance for the beginning and middle of that exercise. So you'd actually be better off choosing a resistance that's really heavy that you can't get fully out of, but you could work through till maybe 30 degrees away from your body, because then you're at least training the rotator cuff with enough strength. But that's why I say, hey, pick a weight that you could do here. You don't necessarily have to go through full range of motion for rotator cuff if you're working on peak force or strength production, because you don't want to be rate limited by the weakest part of the muscle. So pick a weight that you could do reliably out to about 30 degrees and work on cables a little bit more for rotator cuff than you do for bands.